Well, I knew that it would pay off if I sat quietly somewhere and you'd see where the birds are going in the garden. That's pretty close. Surprised it hasn't flown off. They get quite skittish. Just as I was sitting here getting ready to make a video, it came. There you go, look. Top of the hedge. Wow. Just as I was starting the video. How's that, for timing? Well, hello everybody. Good lovely day to you all. Welcome to new subscribers. And thank you so much for visiting with me. From a different angle of the garden today, I thought I'd sit here by the shed and just catch up because I've got so much to do. But I thought I haven't actually put up a video since last week again, and I've been so busy doing so much between the crafts and the garden and family that I haven't really put up any videos. I haven't actually browsed much of Facebook. Hubby's done that for me, just keeping up with stuff and let me know what's going on, but I haven't actually posted much at all for a while. I've got loads still to do today, but if I don't stop and do it now, it won't get done. So here we are. You see the pond is bubbling over there with the oxygenator, the bubbler. The mussels are still alive. Feed them once a week with some liquid fish food, and they're still weighing a bit, so as long as they're weighing a good weight, they're fine. And you can tell the difference actually, because even though I put muddy, clayey mud at the bottom of that pond for them, that water is clearer than that one, which has nothing in it. They both have the bubbler, but that one has the oxygenating plants and the mussels in, and it does make a difference. It does make a difference. So, I mean, we'll clear that one out. We're going to get a pump and filter to do the top one and occasionally filter a few through the bottom. And I'll put some plants and shelving in that one, so I could put one of the mussels in the top one as well. And hopefully that will help keep them both clear. They're too little to bother with. The ponds are too small to bother with getting any fish in there. I actually just want the little one at the bottom for encouraging frogs and toads. Yeah, that's not happened yet. I'll need to put in one of the little dwarf, water lilies. Little dwarf water lily, I'll put one in there and one on the top. At least then there'll be more shelter for tadpoles. They'd like that more. Not so sure how they do with swan mussels. We'll see how that one goes. But at least the fish, if we don't have fish, they can't eat the tadpoles. There you are, look at those blossoms on those apple tree. Aren't they just so beautiful? They've come out so pretty. Oh yes, yesterday the apple trees are finally gone in the ground. So yes, we did a bit of digging to make the holes just as well. That was very heavy clayish soil, a reddish clay. So digging that hole as big as the pots, slightly bigger, and adding in loads of manure and compost and a little bit of bark chips. That will make a big difference with the drainage in the soil. Hopefully the trees will survive the summer as well, because what we were doing is actually drought proofing them. They didn't do so well in the pots, and last year we didn't have any fruit at all because the trees were conserving their energy. So this year we've put them in the ground, and hopefully that will help them, because there's clay soil which does help hold water. They've got enough water in there now, and they've got a mulch, so hopefully that'll help them. As far as the pots are concerned, I have, especially with those ones at the back, because remember I only had them half filled last year, so that this year I could lift the root ball out and fill the pot with more fresh compost and soil. And this year I did that, but I put in the clay soil that we dug out from the holes from the apple tree, so they have clay soil in there as well, which will help retain the water. So, and I put bark chips on the top of the pots as well. That would help mulching. So hopefully we are sufficiently drought proof in the garden to a degree where I don't have to water as much. Plenty of all the lamb's lettuce has gone to flower, which feeds the lovely beneficial insects, and will give me some free seeds. So 5 apple trees in the ground. I've also took the baskets down so I can rescue the pinks from that one and put new fresh soil in, but this time I'm going to put the coir lining back in, then I'm going to put the old compost bag in there, and then I'm going to put more compost in so that it would have more water retention, because they didn't do so well last year. Even though I put little saucer wells inside at the bottom, it still didn't do very well. So this year I am putting, I've got a little robin, a little house sparrow right next to me. Oh yes, hello. Are you looking at me? How are you? And he's looking at me, just standing there. Quite brave little thing. I don't want to move, you'll fly. She will fly if it's a little female. Oh, so cute. Sometimes I just want to be quiet and watch. We're just being very brave, she is. She's just sitting there looking at me, quite curious. Can you see her? Oh, off she goes. Yep, I moved and she's gone. But anyway, so I'll get those ready today. I am going to sort them out. I've got some nasturtiums to go in there already. I'll put them in ready, and then when I've got the other plants, I'll just put them in. So they'll be hung up out the way, but they'll have new soil, new bags in there. And the birds have been coming to pick at all the coir though for nesting material. So, it's not doing too badly. These corn plants, they're struggling. They really are. They need to go into bigger pots with more soil, but I'll do that as well today. So it's the baskets, the corn. This bed needs getting ready, but not just yet. So I'm going to leave that for now. I'll water it because it's a little bit dry actually, this bed. Got a new window box, a big one, and I can't remember what I intended to put in it. I had something in mind. I bought the pot and then I forgot what I was going to put into it. Never mind. Earthed up some of the potatoes a little bit, but I need more compost. They have grown so fast. I've transplanted the ochre into bigger pots. They can just stay in there now, and hopefully they'll have enough shade under the cherry tree. The peas that I transplanted into there are surviving nicely and starting to climb onto the string. Did I tell you in the last video? A little house sparrow got stuck under that netting. I don't know how it got in or where, but it's just as well we came home when we did, because it was a hot day. I think it was Saturday, and it couldn't get out, and it was so hot. There was no water in there for it, no shelter. So if we had continued to go out when we were going out again, that poor little thing would have died. You can't see the netting. Here's my off-grid laundry drying system. Yeah, well, when the weather's fine, we off-grid it. The onions I covered with the Enviromesh, but discovered, of course, the St. Mark's flies. I think I put up a video to do with that. And look, there's another one. Every couple of hours I've got to... Off you get, buttons. Off. See. Every couple of hours I just have to lift the net in to let the St. Mark's flies out. There you go. Go on, there you go. Look, there it, oof, gone. So just make sure I lift it every couple of hours to let them out, and then cover it up again. And this has been going on since Saturday, and there's hundreds and hundreds of them that come out at a time. So they had overwintered in the soil, and my friend in the bracken since Saturday has also discovered her greenhouse is absolutely full of them, even though the chickens had been scratching in there, which obviously didn't dent that amount. But not even the house sparrows have been getting them, so maybe they don't taste so good. Oh, look at that calendula. Isn't that just so pretty by the daisies? What a colour. Gorgeous. Yeah. Buttons. No, you don't go digging and lying in the beds. You'll kill my leeks. Yes. Anyway, as I was saying, gosh, that's already 11 minutes. Can't natter. This is really ridiculous. Anyway, nasturtiums are doing really well. The sweet potato is finally picking up, and that was grown from slips from last year's potatoes, and that's the only one that survived so far. There and there are kale that I didn't plant. They have just come up. There's another one in that soil there next to the mashua. I didn't plant that. It just came up. So, and there's more. One has come up in between the marigolds there on the train. So on the tray. And I found another one here that I took out of another pot. Oh, and another one there. So I've got 6 kale plants growing very healthily, I might add, that I didn't even sow. And that is the benefit of allowing your plants, at least one of them, to self-seed. Nature does the work for you. I didn't sow anything, tend anything, and yet there they are. I just transplanted that yesterday. Lovely, healthy looking plant. Love it when that happens. These are cuttings that I took, or elbows that I pinched out of the Dorbenton's kale. I don't know if they'll survive. I don't know if they'll sprout roots, because you're supposed to be able to do this with Dorbenton's, but I don't know what time of the year. I'm just winging it. These are cuttings I took yesterday from the aronia berries as well. I think the wrong time of year, but I'm doing it anyway because I needed to cut them off and I didn't want to just chuck them in the composter. So I'm going to sort them in a minute. Sweet peas have sprouted. The sugar snap peas, I've put my sugar snap peas in the garden. I have put my Champion of England climbing peas at the front garden. These are for the school garden. I gave the rest of the other peas to my friend. And I've made some space here. My cobra climbing beans are going to go out as well. I am not so sure I want to put them out today because we've got rain forecast for the rest of the week, and as you can see, the slugs are still very interested in them. So I'm not going to risk putting them out, but I will transplant them into deeper soil. I've put more seeds out of other things. Some cauliflower there. More sweet peas over there. There are nasturtiums that are sprouted over there. They're called Choir of Angels, those ones. Things are still surviving. The mint up there I'm going to have to take down and put in bigger pots and move them into a shady area because they're getting full of mold up there and they're getting quite nasty. It's too hot up there, I think, and dry. So I've got to get this area ready for the beans. Oh, that's what I had the window box for. I was intending on putting the beans in here, but if I do that, it's just going to make more space for slugs, so I thought I'll just leave it in the soil and instead I'll use that window box for something else. So, and it's deep enough actually for me to try, I think, to put, I don't know, I'll see, some lettuces or something. There's only one of the calendula have come up, 1 or 2 of the dill, quite a few of the chamomile. That's good. I want loads and loads of chamomile. I use a lot of that for my hair rinse, for teas. So yeah, I need a lot of chamomile. There you go, the purple sprouting broccoli, kohlrabi and the beetroot doing nicely. They're going to be transplanted today as well. So lots going on, lots still to do. Lots keeping me busy. There you are. Oh, that is a bright amount of sunshine. So, my lovelies, maybe I'll just quickly show you the front garden as well. There you go. Last of the tulips hanging on. I thinned out some of the rhubarb yesterday because I harvested some, but the plants are, they're greening up nicely. And look, new growth on the camellia. So within a couple of years we might have it shoulder height. The rose, we've got one rosebud on there. The other stem has died off, so I'll just cut that back. Things are growing though. I'm so happy to see that my lemon balm is back again. And I think just because it's like a mint, I think it's right, because there is the original crown of the plant and it has spread out away from it. So I think it's true with a mint that it spreads out sideways, and that's why it doesn't do so well in pots unless you split it every year. So I'm really glad, because I love lemon balm as well. It's one of my favorite herbs. Just adore that scent. It's just so good. The salvia has just layered itself. Wherever it has fallen down, the stems have taken root in the ground. So they've just made themselves at home there and along there. So I might have to keep an eye on that just so they don't get too vigorous. The acer is sprouted into leaf and looking nice. The aronia berries have got flower buds on them, getting ready to flower. Look at that. Oh, there's my peas I transplanted yesterday along the trellis. So I need to water them actually. I'll keep an eye on them. The Sonetti, they don't seem to like it very much here. They seem fine now, but I tell you what, later in the day those leaves are wilting and the soil is wet underneath, so it's not like they're dry. They just don't like the heat. The rose is struggling next to the aquilegia there, so I'm going to have to cut some of the aquilegia leaves away from the rose just to give it a bit more chance. Once it's bigger than that and it grows and it'll be bigger than the aquilegia, then it won't matter, but while it's so small I'm going to have to stop it being overwhelmed. The daylilies have survived the transplanting. Herb Robert is really blooming there. Yarrow, my Achillea, that is absolutely gorgeous. I'll just have to wind the path wider around it. Peony has survived that I put in. I put the hostas in yesterday and the fern. I did put some eggshells around it. The slugs are still getting to it, I think, but they've not done as much damage, so I am going to clear some more of the wood chips away and just put compost around it. And I cleared away all the strawberries that were there I took out, because I didn't want any ground cover for slugs or snails to hide under. So hopefully I'll give them a watering again today, and hopefully that will help them settle in. The rest of the week we're going to have a little bit of rain, so hopefully that will help. The wisteria, we've put some wire in so that these limbs can trail along the fence, and the rest of it is jumping into life nicely. I've put more stuff on top of the compost pile there. I've thinned out all of the Nepalese cabbage and left one plant for seeds and flowers. Especially since the lilac, look at that. That has doubled in size since I put it in the ground in the autumn. Or was it? Yeah, autumn. That has doubled in size. So if it doubles in size every year, by next year it'll be up there, and then the year after up there. Very soon we'll have prettiness. I transplanted foxgloves from the back garden. I just sprouted up in a tray. These ones are from last year, so they shall flower this year. I cleared the Door Benton's kale on the bottom to let more light get into that honeyberry, which is helping because there's a lot of fruit coming up on the honeyberries. So that's going to need feeding and particular care now, just more regularly to make sure it stays moist and fed, and feed those berries. The strawberries in the ground are already flowering, so they'll be fruiting soon, and I need to actually to get them up to put in the back garden, because I wanted to specifically grow them off the ground, but they seem to be doing fine and the slugs aren't bothering with them. Maybe it's because the wood chips are dry. I did water properly on the Dormanton's kale and piled on loads more compost to cover up that exposed root ball, and I've put the stone on, so hopefully that'll stop the birds uprooting it again. That's about it. The rose I put in there is surviving, and things are looking alive still, even though I haven't done anything out yet. It looks a little bit dry. Some places are a bit dry, but I'm not going to water. I only watered the rhubarb yesterday, and obviously the things that I transplanted, and the Dormanton's kale. I think that's just about it. Because we're going to get rain, I'm going to let nature do the watering for me, because there's quite a lot of mulch. We'll need mulching again soon. But oh yes, I transplanted the fig yesterday as well. I transplanted the fig into a bigger pot and moved it a bit. So yeah, there you go. All right, lovelies. I'll speak to you again soon. Bye-bye. Oh, don't forget, if you're not already subscribed, if you'd like to do so, do so. If you'd like to share, and if you'd like to like it, then please do so. You're all welcome. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.